I speak to you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. You didn't have any damage done from all that wind last night, right? That was something. Of course, many of our people are traveling this week. I know my boys are out of school for the whole week. Yay. Because Thanksgiving is coming, right? We're almost there, and it makes me think that this Advent shift that we've made here at St. John's, it actually does make a lot of sense. I say that because with Thanksgiving already here, the holidays have really begun. The holidays have really begun. I mean, I know that there were decorations in the store on Halloween. I went to go get candy, and they were pulling the Halloween stuff down, putting the Christmas stuff up that soon, right? So we're here. And so for us to take time now before everything kind of rockets off and to slow down and be intentional to consider what Christmas is really about, well, that makes sense to me. It makes sense. So the readings today are traditional Advent readings. The prophets are being held up for us to consider. From the Hebrew Bible, we have the prophet Isaiah and this amazing vision of him being commissioned to prophesy to his wayward people. And then from the Gospel of Mark, good old John. Gotta love John, right? The Baptists, the honey and locust-eaten Baptists coming to prepare the way for Jesus. Two prophets telling us the world is broken, that we are broken, but at the same time telling us that that's not the entire story, that God is doing something amazing, that God is actually with us, working through this brokenness. Listen again to what Isaiah says. In the year that King Uzziah died. That's how he starts. Okay, so when you hear that, it would be like for us saying, now for us it'd be like, in the year that President Kennedy was killed, or maybe more recent, in the year that the Twin Towers were taken down in New York. That's what this is saying. It's a monumental period in history when things look their worst. It's when things look their worst, when things are all broken. Even Isaiah says, woe is me, I am lost. I am lost. And it's within this context that Isaiah has his vision and he experiences God. And then his life is transformed. He no longer feels unworthy. Rather, things are put back into perspective and he is emboldened to say, I'm here, I'll go. God is actually with him. You see, there's a tension that Isaiah brings to us. The world is broken. Just take a look around, right? The world is broken, but at the same time, God is working through this brokenness. You get it? The world is broken, but God is working through the brokenness. And that, to me, is the tension of Advent. That's the tension of Advent. See, I think there's a reason that the world doesn't do Advent. It'll do Christmas. It loves Christmas. But it doesn't do Advent. Christmas is all about everything is beautiful. Everything is perfect. Let's enjoy the good times. Well, who doesn't like that, right? That's easy. Christmas is easy. It's supposed to be so happy. But then there's Advent. I've got to get so much done. So much to do. Shopping, decorating, school performances, going to parties. The parties are fun. All these things, though, that we have created in order to be ready for Christmas, I call them Advent's anxieties. Advent's anxieties, and they're huge. The stress this time of year, it's palpable. See, I think we've created all these distractions around getting ready for Christmas so that we don't actually have to do the work that was intended for us to do during Advent. The work of Advent is, where is God missing in your life? What's broken in your life? What needs some attention? Who needs some attention? How is God working through your brokenness? Well, who wants to go there, right? Let's just skip to the Christmas. And that's what the world wants to do. Everything's perfect. That's called escapism. That's called escapism. We're Christians. We do Advent. We do Advent. Take a look at where you're going. Take a good long look at yourself. Living in that tension that, yes, the world is broken, but yes, God is working through the brokenness. So here's how that plays out in my life. Now, we know what Thursday is, right? Thanksgiving. This year, my sister in Cookeville is being very gracious and having all the Hacketts over to her house in Cookeville. That's a big deal. It's a lot of people. And I love my family very much. My mom and dad are wonderful, loving parents. I have 2 older sisters, an older brother. They all have lovely families, and I love them all. And so I'm the baby, if you couldn't tell by my own behavior. But so anyway, we're all getting together for Thanksgiving over there in Cookeville. It's like 19 or 20 of us, right? It'll be great getting to see everybody because like most families, we're all pretty spread out these days. We might get together a few times a year. But right now, my life and my immediate family's lives, we are extremely busy, right? It's just where we are in our journey. So we've got this big dinner to go to. Get to see everybody. And it's going to be great, right? Sort of a mini Christmas. But this year, I'm bringing some other stuff to the dinner. You see, my parents moved just like a week ago or 2, and they moved out of their 4-bedroom house into a little 2-bedroom apartment. They're doing the whole downsizing thing, right? They wanted something a little more manageable. So I saw them like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were packing, and they told me they were getting somebody to help move. You know, they're going to get some movers for everything. So I just assumed they were all good. Well, I was on the phone with my brother this week, and come to find out, they kind of needed some help. In fact, he's been over there a few times. He's even going over there, I think, today to help set up some things. You know, hook up all the electronic stuff and all that, right? But it's my sister from Cookeville who really went over there and helped him out. She even took a couple of days off work to go help him. I had no idea. I had no idea they needed all this help, right? I mean, I'm busy doing my own thing up here. I got my stuff going on. And then come to find out, my mom had a fall a couple of weeks ago. She's okay, but she did go to the ER. Nobody calls, right? Again, I had no idea. See where I am with this stuff? So do you think when I'm going to dinner on Thursday, I'm just bringing mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts? Is that all I'm really bringing to Thanksgiving this year? I'm bringing all that unresolved stuff that I have with my family, all right? The stuff that we all have with our families. I don't keep in touch enough. Does physical distance turn into emotional distance? My parents are getting older. Do I need to help them more? Why don't I communicate better? I need to be more grateful to my siblings. What can I do better? And it goes on and on and on. As a child, I have this memory of Thanksgiving. We're at my grandparents' house over here in Knoxville off Luttrell. Lots and lots of family around. My grandmother only had one leg. She's hopping around the whole kitchen cooking. And she's one of these good Southern cooks, right? Good old country cooking. And man, she could cook. She's always smiling, humming old hymns from the Methodist church. All my aunts are in there cooking. Everybody's having a good time. My grandfather is in his chair sitting there watching TV, football games on. Uncles are snoring. We know this, we know this scene. Lots of talking everywhere, cousins running around, the smell of turkey and dressing all through the house. To me, that smell, I guess I equate it to the smell of love. Turkey and dressing, the feeling of warmth even when it's cold outside. I cherish that memory, and I hope my boys can experience something similar. But see, now I realize, as ideal as my memory was, the truth is that every single person, all my aunts, all my uncles, my grandparents, my parents, they were all doing what I do now. You get it? They were all doing the same thing. They were bringing all their stuff to the table. They were bringing all their projections, all their brokenness, all the stuff we're constantly working on. It was there all along because it's always been there, hadn't it? It's always been there. I mean, people have been doing this since the beginning of families. But don't miss it. The beautiful thing, and this is what strikes me as so important, none of that stuff lessens the love that is shared. None of that stuff lessens the love. It didn't lessen the love that I experienced. God works through this stuff, folks. God works through our brokenness. Believe it. Because we all have our stuff. We're constantly at work, right? And the holidays, man, they just seem to bring it up and shake it around. It's not bad. It's just real. We don't get to just go do happy, clappy Christmas. We don't get to do that. We're Christians. We have to do some preparation. The prophets have been telling us this since the beginning. So what do you need to do this Advent to be more ready? We have all those outer preparations, the shopping, the decorating, all that, but don't forget to do inner preparation. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to think about the relationships you need to work on. Who do you need to show some more appreciation to? Do you need to forgive anyone? Do you need to forgive yourself this year? That's the work of Advent. That's the work of Advent. But don't miss it. God is with us as we do this work. In all the brokenness, we are not alone. Our worlds are broken, but God is with us in our brokenness, working through the brokenness. In just a moment, we're going to be bringing little baby Zyron. He's going to be coming to baptism. He's going to be joining this great big Christian family. And so we give special thanks to God for him today. And we're going to promise to teach him some things about life. That, yeah, the world that we're a part of, it's not perfect, is it? It's not perfect. But it doesn't have to be perfect in order for him to experience love that's already there. He's still going to experience it, right? God promises to be with him. God promises to love him, just like we're all going to promise to love him too. And to that we say, thanks be to God. Happy Advent.